Hello, Ernie. Tomorrow I cannot do it in the morning. So whatever you want to do, it has to be in the afternoon.
We could do the afternoon. I can't do it tomorrow morning. I have surgery at 7:30.
I can't in the morning either. That's why I'm saying in the afternoon.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock actually works for me. Yeah. I'm going to do it there. I'm not going to start Shabbos then.
So you're not going to sit at the table?
We're the anti-Shabbos early takers.
Why does it 5:45?
No, that's too late. I go to the early meeting.
What are you in nursery school? What, you have little children at home?
I have
Yes.
to sleep early.
Yes.
I'm going to the valley tomorrow for a Shalom Zocher for my grandson. So
Mazel tov.
yes,
Mazel tov.
they're starting Shabbos early, my wife tells me. So
Yes, so that 6 o'clock is no good.
I have to be at UCLA at 4 o'clock. It's a problem. So we'll just have to do. We'll have to do a Sunday. We'll have to do Saturday night. We'll have to do maybe catch up a little bit. Saturday
Okay.
night we'll learn at 9 o'clock.
Okay,
Okay. All right. Very good.
okay,
Thank you.
good.
So we're on the Mishnah on the bottom of 16b.
Yes.
There were 13 places where the people would bow down. Arba b'tzofoin, 4 in the north. Arba b'dorim, 4 in the south. Sholish b'mizrach, 3 in the east. Ubeis b'mayrav, 2 in the west. Keneged shloishasar sha'arim, the 13 gates. Now the Droimiyim, the southern gates were Smuchin L'mayrav, were close, was more southwest. And they were Shar HaElyon, the upper gate. Shar HaDelek, that's the fuel gate. And wood was brought through there. Shar HaBchoros, because all the various korbanos, the Bechoros, came through that gate. Shar Mayim, the gate of the Mayim, which was the Nisuch HaMayim was brought there. Lama Nikra Shar Mayim, Shabo Machnisim Sluchish Shel Nisuch HaMayim B'Chag. That's where they brought the water for the Nisuch HaMayim on Sukkos. Lezer ben Yaakov Oimer, Go HaMayim Mefachim B'Atidin Liyos Yotzim Mitachas Miftan Habayis. This is the reason why this is called Shar HaMayim, because in the future, a river is going to flow out of Kodesh Kadoshim. It's going to go all the way to the Mediterranean Sea. We're going to learn about this later in the Gemara. And the initial flow is through this gate. The Tzafon Smuchim B'Mayrav, the gates in the north were also near the west. Shar Yechanya. This was the gate that Nebuchadnezzar took Yechanya into exile 11 years before the temple was destroyed. Shar HaKorban, because Chattises and Oshams were brought in through this because they had to be shechted in the north. The Bechoros were Kodesh Kalim, could be shechted in the south. That's why they went through the gate in the south. Shar HaNoshim, the women would, according to those Rabbanon that held that women could lean on their korbanos, so that's where they would stand to do the leaning. Shar Ashir, the gate where the musical instruments for the Levim were brought in. Lama Nikra Shmor Shar Yechanya. Why was the Shar Yechanya called Shar Yechanya? Shabo Yotze Yechanya Begaluso. Yechanya went out that gate when he was taken to exile. Now the gates Sheba Mizrach, right? That's the main gate where you enter the Azor, Shar Nicanor. Nicanor donated 2 copper doors. Hello.
Hey, Renee, it's Jay. How are you?
Hi, Jay. Jay, I'm teaching Daf Yomi right now. Oh, I'll call you back. Bye, Jay. Shar Nicanor Shnei Pishamayulo. Those gates themselves had these little doors in them. Echad Miminov, Echad Mismolo. One to the right, one to the left, Ushnaim B'Mayrav, and there were 2 to the west. There were 2 gates, 2 sharim in the west. V'lo ya'aleh sham. They didn't have any special name. Now, Masnis Abi Yusuf ben Yoichlani, our Mishnah is Abi Yusuf. The Omar Keneged Yud Git Sha'arim, because he is the one who held that there were 13 gates. Ram Karabonon Shiva Sha'arim Hayu Bazora. According to the Chachamim, there were only 7 gates. So Al Derech Rabbanon Hechan Hayu Ishtachavo. So where were the Ishtachavo according to Rabbanon? Halalu. Like Yahid Tanim Tamon Yud Gimel Protus Hayu Bo Shaparts of Malchei Yavam. When the Greeks conquered Yerushalayim, they opened up more gates because the rules were that the Goyim could not go into these areas. So they wanted to show that they could go. However, when the Chashmonaim conquered the Greeks, they closed up those extra gates. The Gazra connected in Shachavos. And next to those areas that the Chashmonaim closed up, they would still bow there. Okay, then it says in Zechariah, there will be a live spring emerging from Jerusalem. And it goes like this: from Kodesh Kodashim until the curtain is Kekarne Sile Vikilia. It was the width of an antenna of a snail. It's like the width of the antenna of a grasshopper. From the golden mizbech until the azar kechut shel shesi, like a thread of shesi. Min azar sad miftan abayis, from the azar until the lintel of entering into the base of Midrash, kechut shel erev. Shesi and erev, these are 2 strings, the warp and the woof. Now, mikan ve'elech kimepi hefech, from that's kimefi apach, like the mouth of a jar, because it says v'nei mayim afachim min hakosef hayemonis b'tzei sa'ish kodim v'kav biyado v'yamid 1,000 ba'ama. He measured 1,000 amas v'avrena b'mayim, and he passed me in water me'afasim ad karsula, until karsula. But we see the hafechim, the pachas mepachim. V'yamad 1,000 v'avrena b'mayim me brachim ad brachya. V'yamad 1,000 v'avrena me musnaim ad masya. And these waters were 1,000 amos deep as they continue going towards the ocean. Then it was so deep you couldn't swim there. Even a big boat wouldn't have been able to traverse those waters. My timer. It was so, the waters were so angry that you couldn't traverse there. And then the waters got to a place called Meisachu. What's Meisachu? Milishot. Meisachu is a place that you can swim. A place that you can swim is called Shchuna. Then the pasuk continues. Then the Hashem will extend his hand to Moab, just like a swimmer extends his hand. Ma'ulischot. What does it mean, this Meis Sachu? On Rav Yosef Rav Yehuda, Mayin de Mismalin Ba'alma. That means people will talk about these waters because they're great. That these waters will be open for the Beis David and the people of Yerushalayim. That means like they'll be able to do the paraduma from that water, and lenida to go into a mikveh. That these were appropriate waters for nida and mechatas. But beyond that area, meitaruvis would be mixture. Only it would be a kosher mikveh, but not for mechatas. in the environs of Yerushalayim, it would be kosher for both. Bikan ve'elech may kapetrisin hay. Kapetrisin means it's on a slope. And once the waters are on a slope, you can't even go in a mikveh in such waters. Psulim nidul l'chatas. Ksiv vayomer elai hamayim ha'ele yotzim el ha'glila hakodmona. These waters are going to go to the eastern Galilee. Ze yam shel samcho. That's this ocean of Samcho. Now, there was a lake north of the Kinneret that was called Lake Hula, and the early pioneers, the Zionists, drained it for agricultural land. When the times of Chazal, it was still there. It was called Yam Shel Samchu. The Yardu El Arava Ze Yam Shel Tveria, and this lake entered into Kinneret. Uba Yam Ze Yam HaMelech, and again the Jordan would go down to the Yam HaMelech. El Yam HaMotzim Ze Yam HaGadol. Then this water ended up in the Mediterranean. Lama Nikra Shema Mutsaim. It was called like middle water. Keneged Shtei Pamim. Sheyatza Echad B'dor Enesh V'Echad B'dor Haflaga. The Gemara understands that between Europe and Africa was a land bridge. There was no Mediterranean Sea. And in the Dor Enosh, where they were punished by the Mabul, so the Mediterranean came halfway in towards Italy. And then by the Dor HaFlaga, when there was the Tower of Bavel, the Mediterranean made it all the way to Israel. Rabbi Lezer B'Shem Rav Chanina B'Rishon Yotza Ad Kalbiria. That's this place in Italy called Calabria.
Mm-hmm.
Uvishnia Yotza Ad Kipe Barbria.
That's
Then-
in Sicily.
It went, yeah, but then it went to where the Barbary coast near Tunis, because that was Carthage. It's called Barbaria, the Berbers. Ravacha b'shem Rav Chanina B'Rishon Yatza Kipe Barbaria. They held no. Initially went all the way to Tunis. Uvishnia Yatza Ad Akko, Vad Yafo. Then it came to the land of Eretz Yisrael. Ad Pot Tavov V'Lo Tosiv, and up until here, the Mediterranean goes, not any further. Ad Akko Tavav Lo Tosif. Upo Yashit B'Gaon Galyecha Ad Yafo. The ways will go here, no further. Ashis Gaon Galecha, no further. Nicha Yamarabba, the Yamad Milcha, the great ocean, and the salty ocean. Why was it there? Bishvil mitik, to sweeten it. Yamad Tveria, Yamad Samchu, the Lake Hula and the Tveria, the Rabbis Dagosa. This happened in order to increase their fish. The waters coming out from Yerushalayim. The Chsiv Bay, Leminot Tiet Dagasom. That means the multitude will be the fish. Minim Tiet Dagasom. Tony Amr Shim Galil. Ma'aser Shalachta L'Tzaydin. I went to Sidon. They vil ufana yotzim misholosh me'ashmin and the gabim. That they brought me 300 different kinds of fish. V'nirpu amayim, and the waters got healed. V'tzeitzav v'gavav lo yarpenu. But not all of it, because Lamelech didn't, because we needed the salt. Ksiv v'nirpu amayim says the waters were healed. V'atamet v'lo yarpu amayim, it says they were not healed. Mokumu shmo lo yarpenu. It's the name of a place. It's called lo yarpenu. Ksiv. Balanachal yale al sfaso mizo mizeh. Now, bordering these waters that came out of Yerushalayim, on either bank will be fruit trees. Lo yivol aleu, their leaves will not fall. Lo yitom pirio, they will not ever be without fruit. And lechadosh of yibak, rather than give fruit once a year, they'll give fruit once a month. Tani Rav Yudah lefisha boilam hazeh, tavua grain also l'shisha chadoshim, comes new every 6 months. The elon on a tree also l'shtei chodesh, gives new fruit every 12 months. The grain will be grown in 1 month. The ilan also l'shnei chadoshim, and the trees will give fruit every 2 months. My time l'chadoshiv yivaker, because it says they will become ripe within chadoshav, plural. Normally, grain comes in every 6 months. For 12 months. Grain will ripen in 15 days. And there will be fruit every month. In the time of Yoel HaNavi, they needed the minchas ha'omer, so the wheat grew in l'chamisha aser yom, 15 days, v'kar v'meno omer. My time of Bnei Tzion gilu v'simchu b'Hashem Elokeichem. Why does it say that the Bnei Tzion will be happy? Kinos lechem es hamor l'tztokov v'yor lechem geshem moira malkosh. And you will get rain in its time and wind in its time. Rishon u'mamakayim Rabbi Yosef l'chadosh v'vaker. Why did Rabbi Yosef have to say it will in 2 months? It's every month. Va'aleo l'trufa. That means Rabbi Yosef also explained every month, not every 2 months. Then it says va'aleo l'trufa. Then the leaves will be for medicine. Rabbi Yochanan Amar to Rafeh mitzit. By chewing the leaves, the tongue and the mouth will be healed. The teref mezoina. Teref is a lashon like sustenance. Rav Shmuel Charam Lahatir Peh Shalamalam. It's to treat your mouth. It's the lower, like a genitalia illness that these leaves will treat. Rav Chanina Rav Yoshe ben Levi Chad Omer Lahatir Peh Ikrus. It will cure infertility. Chad Omer Lahatir Peh Ilmim. Somebody who can't speak, they'll be able to speak. Then we said that the gates, Ulumasim B'Tzofoin, it would be gates in the north. At Motzei B'Shar Sha'al Nebuchadnezzar Lakan, when Nebuchadnezzar came to destroy Jerusalem, Bavi Yoshev Lo B'Doif Nishla Antochia, he was sitting on the walls of Antioch. V'yata Sanhedrin Glory Krosso. The Sanhedrin went to meet Nebuchadnezzar to tell him maybe not to come. Amr Lo, they said to me, Gizman Abayis Azeli Chorev? Is now the time for the base of English to be destroyed? Amr Lahan, he said to them, also Shemlachti Alechem, the person I gave you as a king, Tnuali, give it to me. This is Yoyachim. Vani Oilech, and then I'll go away. Ba'u va'amr li Yoyachim Melech Yehuda, they told Yoyachim. Nebuchadnezzar Bar Lecha is requesting you. Kivin Shama man kach notol maftecha shel Beis Hamikdash. So Yoyachim took the keys of the Beis Hamikdash, went up to the roof. Ala gaga shalecha. Amr von Rebbeinu Shalom l'shavar yinu nemonim lecha. We were trustworthy for you, and the keys to your house were given to us. We are not trustworthy. You're going to take us away. We're giving back the keys. He threw them up into the sky. They didn't come down. That a heavenly hand came out of Shemaim and took the keys. Kivin Sharo, Kolchori Yehuda came when the elders of Yerushalayim saw this. They like went up to the roofs and threw themselves off. This is the pain of the vision. Malacha Efo Kialisa Kulcha Lagagois, that you all went up to the roofs. Truas Malaya Ir Dumya. Mishnah. Yud Gimel Shulchan Aruch B'Mikdash, there were 13 tables in the Beis Hamikdash. Ches Shel Shayish, 8 of marble, B'Beis HaMidbachim, in the butchering place. Shalead Medichnas HaKraveim, they would wash the intestines on those tables. Ubeis B'Mayriv, there were 2 in the west. Hakeves Echad Shel Shayish, to the west of the ramp. Echad Shel Shayish, Echad Shel Kesef, one of marble, one of silver. Al Shel Shayish Noitznes HaIvorim. The limbs of the oilus atomid, while they were waiting to go up on the ramp, they would put it on that table. The Al Shel Kesef, on the silver one, the clay sharis that were used were put on that table. Then Ubeis Be'ulam, Mi Bifnim Al Pesach HaBayis, the opening door to the Heichal, there were 2 tables there as well. Echad shel shaysh ve'echad shel zav. 1 marble, 1 gold. Now, al shel shaysh noizim lechem aponim b'knisaso. When they brought the lechem aponim in, before they put it on the main shulchan, they put it on the marble table first. And then al shel zav b'tziyaso, when they took out the old lechem aponim, they would put it on a golden table. B'tziyaso. Why? Shemaylim b'kodesh v'lo meridin. You got to put it on a higher level table because it's Mailim b'kodesh v'lo meridin. Echad shel zov mibifnim shalav lechem aponim tamid. And then there's a shulchan to the north of the menorah. Right, the menorah was in the south. The shulchan itself was in the north. That's where they put the lechem aponim. Tani ashol kesef. Achai Rav Maishu Motim Shem Rav Shmuel Rav Yitzchak Rav Yosef Shem Rav Shmuel Rav Yitzchak Chaim Mati Rav Shem Rav Yochanan. Less kan shel kasef. They didn't have a silver one, and they shomartiach. It was too hot. Lokein Toni Zecha b'na Nisim Shnaz Beis Hamikdash. What do you mean? There's nothing wrong with having it because it's one of the Nisim, the miracles of the Beis Hamikdash. Kshem shayu menichno so cham, like when they, the week before when they put the lechem upon him fresh, kachem motzim so cham. They found it fresh a week later. Shenemar lasun lechem cham biyom anil kaf. The same freshness it was when they put it down was when they took it away. Rabbi Shua ben Levi Omar. We don't mention Ma'aser Nifim. Bon Kumi, Rav Levi. Rav Levi asked the following question, Lo Yasham Lechem. What if they didn't have a new Lechem Aponim? Can you leave the old Lechem Aponim another week? Lechem Ponim Afilu Pasul. You could leave, even if it was many days old, there's no Psul Belina. Asor Shulchan Asar Shlomo. Shlomo Melech built 10 tables. The Haim is small, 5 to the right of Moshe's table and 5 to the left. Don't say that the tables were in this south and the north. The Shulchan has to be in the Tzofon. So Mata Medor Chamisha Mimin Chamisha Mismo. What do you mean 5 to the right, 5 to the left? Ela Chamisha Mimin Shulchan Shel Moshe. The same Shulchan that Moshe built was there. V'Chamisha Mismo. 5 to the right, 5 to the left. Aval Pichein Lo Yemasara B'Shel Moshe Bulvad. But the Lechem Aponim was actually put on only Moshe Rabbeinu. Shenemar Es HaShulchan Asher Lav Lechem HaTomi. Rav Yisrael Yidoimer Al Kulan Hayam Mesader. No, you could put the Lechem Aponim on all the tables. Shenemar Es HaShulchan Aleim Lechem Aponim. Okay, we'll stop here because this starts a new subject. Okay, so we'll tomorrow night. Tomorrow we're not going to learn. We're going to learn Saturday night at 9:00.
Okay,
Mazel Tov, Ernie. Mazel Tov, Ernie.
Thank you.
Mazel Tov.
Mazel Shabbos, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbos, good Shabbos.
Mazel tov, good Shabbos.